People are desensitized because this is something we've all been brought up thinking is normal, thinking it's okay, thinking it's something we have to do. We're taught from a young age that we need dairy for calcium. We're taught that we need meat for protein. I was a personal trainer for 8 years and I thought there was no such thing as a healthy vegetarian, as someone that could live without eating meat. And now I've come to learn, and as other people are coming to learn as well, that we can live and thrive and be even healthier, reduce our chances of so many diseases, and live a longer life generally by consuming no animal products. But there's so many lies and myths that people do believe. When we come to the vigils and we get footage of the animals in their last moments, it's powerful because people connect with what they've been eating, who they've been eating, and these animals who they would usually say that they are against harming. So it brings that connection and helps people realize that what they are contributing to is actually something that they're not really okay with, hurting animals.
A lot of people say that vegans always throw their opinions down their throats, but like one thing I've noticed ever since becoming vegan is like how much it's in your face from the other side of the spectrum. Like you're constantly getting like adverts flashing up, McDonald's adverts, KFC, you know, Sainsbury's 2 for 1 on steaks. It's like it's always like in your face all the time. So I'll kind of argue if somebody kind of says don't push your beliefs on me, then I'll just argue the fact that it's happening from the other side as well. So yeah, definitely mainstream media has like had a huge effect on how people think, and they've been conditioned to think that it's okay because, well, if the media are advertising it, then everyone else is doing it. You know, why should I be different, sort of thing. So yeah, definitely a problem.
It's not just a piece of bacon or a piece of meat in the supermarket, you know. These were actually living, breathing animals, and people are so separated from that reality. They just see what's at the supermarket. They don't see the process, and they definitely don't see what happened to the animal, that it was an actual real living, breathing, sentient being who did not want to die. Terrorism. Who are the real terrorists if we're going to point the finger at somebody here? The people who are trying to stop the violence, or the people who are perpetrating the violence? The only thing that we might be causing an issue for are the people who are making profit. And you know, when it comes to that, we should never be putting profit over doing the right thing. So to anyone that would say that we're terrorists, I mean, we're not causing any harm. In fact, we're trying to do the opposite. In saying that though, it's the kind of world we live in where this is natural and normal and necessary to exploit, mutilate, torture and kill animals for foods and products that we don't even need. And so I would say that even the people who are contributing to that, you know, there's a level of ignorance there where they don't realize there's a more peaceful way to live. And that's all that we're trying to raise awareness for, to show that there is a better way to live.
The animals are the victims of terrorism. They're brought into the world, we breed them. Their life is just a cruel, horrible existence. And then they're marched to their murder, to slaughterhouses like the one at the bottom of this road. And they're taken from this world for our own taste buds. For us to then be called terrorists is totally ironic. It just doesn't make any sense at all. There's riot vans out for us today. There's police everywhere. Once they realise that we're peaceful, that we're here to do a peaceful vigil, we're not going to cause any trouble, that it's not about the workers in the abattoir, it's not about the drivers of the trucks who are driving the animals to their death. We're not here to cause trouble with them. We're here for the animals. We're here to bear witness to the suffering, and we're here to document what happens to them, to take it out of here and put it into people's houses via social media.
We're taught that it's okay to harm some animals, like pigs and cows and chickens and fish, but it's wrong to harm certain animals like dogs and dolphins and whales and cats. So these are things that we've been taught. There's no logical reason why some animals are more or less important than others, and it's absolutely untrue that we need animal products to be healthy. So there's a lot of lies that we've been taught, a lot of myths that need busting, a lot of conditioning that has been put on us just by living in this world and growing up with this mentality that animals are here for us to use and that it is totally okay to kill them as long as we're going to eat them later. But in fact, it's just as unnecessary as dog fighting. You know, if you put two dogs in a pit together and they fight to the death, a lot of people who do eat animal products would say that's wrong because it's unnecessary cruelty. but it's actually equally as unnecessary as consuming animal products for health, because we can get everything we need without all the nasties like cholesterol and saturated fats and hormones and things like that from a plant-based diet. So it is just as unnecessary to kill animals for pleasure of entertainment as it is to kill animals for the pleasure of their taste, because that's the only reason why we still do it. Having these vigils, we do stop the trucks. Often we only stop them for a few minutes, and often it's not going to make them suffer any more than usual. I put myself in those animals' situation. That's all I can do. And I think, what would the animals want? Would they want these trucks to be stopped if it means that we can get a message out there to potentially hundreds of thousands or sometimes even millions of people about their plight and about what they're going through, if it just means stopping a truck for 3-4 minutes? For me, that's a no-brainer. There's no question. Of course, if I was just about to be slaughtered, I would want whoever's trying to help me to do whatever they can. And if all it means is stopping a truck for 4 or 5 minutes, I mean, to me, that is there's no question that is what I would want, to help me and to help the next ones after me. Social media is the best tool we've got, man. We can reach literally thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people with just a few clicks of a button. You know, I can have a thought and post it, and it can be shared and seen by millions of people around the world. What other way can you do that? How else can you do that? Everyone has a voice this way, a voice that can be heard and listened to, and a voice that matters. You know, our opinions all matter. We can all flood social media with it. And this is how awareness is raised. This is why vigils are so good, when we put this footage on social media. You know, I've got a speech that's just hit 5 million views. Can you imagine how long it would take me to reach 5 million people if I was doing classroom by classroom? It would take my entire life. So social media is the most powerful thing we've got. Every bit of activism we're doing, you know, all these thoughts that are pointing towards us contributing to a better world and sharing our ideas of why this injustice happening to animals is wrong and what we can do about it, sharing recipes, sharing health benefits, sharing all these things. Social media is where we should be putting it all, because it spreads around the world, and that is how we create change. We educate, we encourage, we inspire as many people as possible, and this becomes normal, the new normal, and that's what we've got to do. So that's why social media is the best thing we got.
I would say we've definitely used social media to our advantage. I think the live videos that we do on Facebook are very effective. You know, nobody can really turn to a blind eye if you're doing a live video and you're looking into, like, you know, trucks full of animals being taken to slaughter. Then you can't really deny that it's happening.
So what just happened is that a truck came through full of dairy cows on their way to slaughter, and we slowed the truck down just for maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds, long enough so that we could take some footage of the animals. We got footage of the animals' eyes, which is a really powerful thing to show, because it shows that there's someone in there. You know, we're not just killing plants. These are living, breathing, sentient beings with a heart and a brain who feel pain and suffer just like us. They have communities, they have families, they communicate with each other. You know, they are our fellow earthlings, and we are sending them right now to go through something that you would not wish on your worst enemy, just so we can have a little snack when we could have easily eaten something else and spared them from this violence and torture that they are about to endure. That's why these are so powerful, mate, because we can get footage of this happening and show people the reality, as opposed to what the media put out there, that this is humane and happy and the animals they love it. It's so humane, you know? It's such a crock. It's basically lying to consumers like us that there is a nice way to do the wrong thing. They're making it out like these animals are so happy that they skip happily to the slaughterhouse, humanely slaughtered, free range. These terms make us feel good due to our own ignorance of what the truth is, but this means next to nothing for animals. There's no humane way to kill someone who doesn't want to die. You know, if you want to figure out if something's humane or not, just put yourself in that situation. Would you like it to happen to you? Would you like it to happen to one of your family members? If not, it's probably not very humane. Humane means to show compassion. There's nothing compassionate about putting an animal into a gas chamber. There's nothing compassionate about shooting an animal in the head and then slitting their throat. That is the opposite of compassion. And it's highly irresponsible that people that we trust, you know, are telling us that this is what's happening, it's okay, don't worry about it, the animals are treated so humanely, it's great. It's a lie, man, and they're not the only lies. It's the lies about the foods we need to eat to be healthy. It's the lies about what we can't do to be healthy. We can't be vegan and be healthy. There's all this propaganda, especially lately as the vegan movement grows, that, you know, if you have a baby on a vegan diet, they'll die. You know, there's so many examples of children dying from malnutrition and from nutrient deficiency across the board, but they pick on, you know, one vegan couple that didn't understand how to feed their child right. So there's a lot of negativity towards veganism, and this idea that we're all extremists, we're all crazy extremists who, you know, are obsessed with animals, when actually it's not about, you don't even have to be an animal lover. It's nothing like that. It's just about realizing that abusing and killing animals for unnecessary reasons is wrong. So it's their job to inform us of the truth. Unfortunately, they're not doing a good job of that. And so we've had to take it upon ourselves to be the ones to inform the public. Whether I think you should be an activist or not is one thing, but what I do think everyone should do is stop contributing to the suffering of others. And when we look at our own individual lives, there's not a lot that we are doing. You know, we're not responsible for a war somewhere. We're not responsible for Trump's decisions in presidency. But what we are responsible for is what we put into our body every single day, 3 times a day, the food we eat, the clothes we wear, the products we use, you know, and there's nothing in our lives that we're doing that has more impact, negative impacts towards others. And those others I'm talking about are animals. And so it follows that there's nothing more positive we can do to reduce our contribution to suffering and killing and violence than to become vegan, to stop consuming animal products, to stop supporting animal exploitation. The first thing we should all do is stop harming animals. That's the worst thing we're all doing in our lives generally. The second thing we should do, if we want to take it to a next step, is start encouraging others to do the same, or start focusing on other social justice issues. But I think the very most important thing we should all do, first of all, before we point the finger at that person's doing such a bad thing, this person over here is so wrong, the very first thing we should all do is look at ourselves. What is it that we're doing that isn't good? And then, you know, work on ourselves, make those changes, then start advocating for everyone else to do the same. Veganism is so much more than just a diet choice. It is an ethical choice, a choice to live causing the least amount of harm as possible. It is the difference between freedom or captivity. It is the difference between suffering and peace. And it is the difference between death and life. It is a serious issue that we should all take seriously, because we are all contributing to it either one way or the other. We are either contributing to the suffering and the violence, or we're contributing to the peace and the liberation of these animals. And there's no third choice, because as consumers, we are making a demand for one thing or the other. It's not just in the interest of the animals that we're trying to save, it is in our own interest too. There are so many benefits from eating a plant-based diet. Firstly, the food is absolutely amazing. Every single meal that you've ever had that you love that contains meat or dairy or eggs, there's a vegan version of it. We've got cakes, we've got burritos, we've got pizza, we got cheese, we got ice cream, you name it, we have a vegan version of it. We got sausages, we got things that resemble chicken, we got everything. So firstly, you're not giving up anything. All you're doing is choosing, instead of the cow's milk, you just choose the almond milk or the soy or the rice or the coconut milk. You know, it's that simple. You can still eat all the same foods you always loved. And the funny thing is, I thought I'd be sacrificing a lot of foods, but in fact, I have added so many more foods than I have got rid of. And I enjoy food now more than I ever have in my life. And so many vegans I speak to are the same. So it's really interesting. Health benefit wise, we have so many benefits for us too. We're reducing our chances of heart disease, cancers, diabetes, obesity, osteoporosis, and so many more lifestyle diseases. In fact, the only diet that has been shown to reverse and prevent heart disease is a whole foods plant-based diet. And that's our biggest killer in the Western world. So that reason alone is such a huge reason to adopt this diet. And then there's so many environmental benefits, because we all share this planet. This is our home. Animal agriculture is destroying it. It's the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, habitat loss, ocean dead zones, greenhouse gas emissions. We are actually destroying where we live just so we can satisfy our taste for flesh and for other animal products. And you know, if we want to sustain life on this planet, human life, then we need to adopt a plant-based diet too. So there's so many benefits for us that we can keep this world a beautiful place for us all to enjoy. Vegans have no reason to lie. I don't make money from people going vegan, you know. animal agriculture industry and the people working there, they have everything to lose. That's why they lie. That's why they say it's humane. That's why they tell you it's free range. That's why they put this happy picture of an animal on your milk carton. That's why they lie to you about the health benefits of consuming dairy and meat and all these things. We got nothing to lie about. When I first started learning about veganism only a few years ago, I wanted it to be wrong. I wanted to find a reason not to be vegan. I didn't want to go vegan. I thought I was gonna be eating lettuce and tofu for the rest of my life. I wasn't looking forward to it. And I was wrong about that. I love it more than anything I've ever done in my life. The truth is the truth. The facts are the facts. I don't think you should believe vegans over those industries though. Do your own research. Look into it. Watch the documentary Earthlings and see all the things that happen to animals before they become the neatly wrapped package on a supermarket shelf. Watch the documentary Cowspiracy, or look into what the United Nations has said about how unsustainable animal agriculture is for this planet. Look into the health benefits of a plant-based diet and how it's the only diet shown to reverse heart disease, and the many studies that are pointing in favor of this for longevity, for optimal health and well-being. And this is such a positive change. It's not just going to benefit the animals, it's not just going to benefit the planet, but us as humans, when we're making kinder choices, more compassionate choices, more respectful to all earthlings, we're increasing the amount of love, peace and respect on this planet, and the world definitely needs more of that.